And welcome back to Broader Financial Future. Hopefully, everyone's having an amazing day. To all my future millionaires and billionaires who's investing day by day, month by month, year by year, taking steps to have a broader financial future in their financial lives. So, in today's video, I'm going to discuss one of Fidelity's best index funds, which has a morning star rating of 5. In addition to that, it has one of the highest life of funds percentage gains in the Fidelity family. But before we get started with that, make sure you subscribe if you're new to the channel. And to all my returning customers, thank you for subscribing. We talk about index funds, ETFs, dividend stocks, and more. But enough of the sales pitch, right? Let's get straight into today's video. In a particular index fund I'm going to be discussing today is Fidelity OTC Portfolio, ticker FOCPX. Now, you might be asking yourself, what is this particular index fund? This particular index fund invests in companies with market values greater than $10 billion that fund managers believe are poised for growth. So they're looking at big companies in a $1 billion range that they believe has high potential. The fund normally invests at least 80% of its portfolio in stocks traded on a NASDAQ composite index or other over the counter markets. This fund has no minimum to invest, so it can get in as little as $5. In addition to that, when it comes to this particular fund, there's a lot of information since it's been around since 1984. So there's over 30 years of data with this particular fund. It does have an expense ratio of 0.8, which is higher than I like to see. So basically, what that means is for every $1,000 you invest, there's $8 in fees. But in addition to that, it does have a turnover rate of 28%. All right, so let's look at some of the top 10 holdings when it comes to this particular index fund because we want to know what you're actually getting, right? So when it comes to this particular index fund, 55.49% is invested into these top 10 holdings, which you can see here. You have Microsoft, which is a great company, Apple, Google, Amazon, Meta, which is formerly Facebook, Nvidia, Netflix, and more. So you're getting some of the big companies that people are familiar with worldwide. In addition, it has 171 holdings in total. So the rest of that is put into other holdings. But as you can see, just these 10 alone account for over 50% of the portfolio. Let's look at the industries we're actually getting into if you do decide to pick a fund like this. It's heavily weighted in information technology, communication services, and consumer staples. A little bit in healthcare, financials, but not as much as in energy and industrials. So if you're looking for more real estate, materials, utilities, this is definitely not the fund for you. But if you do believe in information technology, communication services, and consumer discretionary, that's where you're heavily invested in the industries that they focus on in this particular index fund. In addition to that, the country diversification is heavily skewed in the United States with 90%, with a little bit of investments in India and China and a couple of other countries as well. So you can kind of see the country diversification um, with this particular index fund as well. Let's move over to the performance, right? So we have a lot of history with this particular index fund. Year to date, the market hasn't been great for a lot of funds. It's down about 10%. But overall, the life of the fund is up 14.65%. In 1 year, 12%, 3 years, 28, 5 years, 24%, and so forth. So you can see for the most part, this particular fund has enjoyed um, gains for people who actually invested in this fund. But keep in mind, you can look at it as this fund is either going down or you can look at it as a discount opportunity if you do decide to get into this particular fund. So let's do a hypothetical here, right? If you would have invested $10,000 in this fund 10 years ago, you will be up, you will have a total of $62,543. So the fund has been doing really amazing things for people who are invested in a fund like this long term. This is fun. You want to kind of look at basically for me when I invest in any index fund or ETF, I'm looking at it for long term opportunities, long term growth, long term potential in things I'm not really trying to buy it out of. I'm just trying to buy in a whole particular sectors or index funds when I get into these categories. The one thing I don't like about this one, which I mentioned before, is the expense ratio. That's something you have to decide if that's something for you. But I thought it was kind of interesting. I was looking at Fidelity funds, how this was actually one of the top performing funds. And this is a fund I'm definitely going to keep an eye on and a fund I might invest into in the future. But as of right now, I'm not going to invest into it. I do have other funds I'm targeting and looking at as well. But this is one right here is definitely on my list because it is highly rated. My tongue is all tied today. It's a highly rated fund, has a lot of potential, and it is trading at a discount. So you never know. I might watching this video. I might even do it after this, but we'll see. Overall, any investment may involve risk, so it's always important you do your own homework. I'm not a financial advisor, and these videos are strictly for entertainment purposes only. It's always key to make sure you know what you're investing in. It doesn't matter if you're watching my videos or someone else. You have to know what your plan is. These videos that people make overall, they're great information, but when it comes down to it, you have to know because if you don't know, you don't know when to sell. You don't know. You just don't know, right? So it's good to kind of know what you're buying overall. But that's it, folks. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if anybody actually owned this particular index fund. And keep in mind, this index fund is particularly for Fidelity only. So if you don't have Fidelity account, you cannot buy this particular index fund. So this is for Fidelity customers if you have a Fidelity account. All right, folks. Thanks for watching. Until next time, have a good one. Peace.